When you hear the phrase All-Star Game, what do you think of? Hopefully, you think of a fun, laid-back event. At least that's what I think of, apart from the Home Run Derby, of course. But if you were watching MLB between the years of 2003 and 2016, and you were a fan of a World Series contender, you may have had more interest in the game than others. Why? Well, between these years, the winner of the All-Star Game would also have home field advantage in the World Series. So, if the American League won the All-Star Game and the Yankees went to the World Series, the Yankees would have home field advantage, meaning they would host games 1 and 2, and if necessary, 6 and 7. Seems a bit weird, right? A meaningless exhibition game suddenly turns into a potential World Series altering matchup. Half of these guys are not even going to make the playoffs. Why should they risk injury for this exhibition game? Well, this rule was removed after the 2016 season, so the rule is gone, but that doesn't mean it didn't have some sort of effect. But before we get into potential ramifications, we need to go back to the beginning. We need to look at the incident that caused this rule to be established in the first place. Quickly, I want to thank William Dovey for his comment in one of the previous Butterfly Effect videos. I'm blurring some of this comment because I don't want to spoil the rest of the video, but if you have your own Butterfly Effect scenario you want me to showcase, leave it down in the comments. July 9th, 2002. It's time for the MLB All-Star Game. As we look at these rosters, there is one name that needs to be mentioned, and it's not any of the Red Sox or Yankees players that fill up half of the American League roster. The player I'm talking about is Torii Hunter. The year prior, Hunter established himself on the big league scene, providing some of the best defense in the entire league. He would even win a Gold Glove for his efforts. In 2002, heading into All-Star Weekend, Hunter had some impressive hitting numbers. Couple that with the flashy defense, and you have yourself an all-star starter. I'm sure Hunter didn't know going into this game that he would be altering MLB history. Fast forward to the bottom of the first inning. We got Red Sox starting pitcher Derek Lowe facing Barry Bonds. But not just any Barry Bonds, 2002 Barry Bonds. If you pitch anything in the strike zone, he will hit it. Lowe didn't seem to get the memo because on a 1-1 count, he throws what looks like a changeup right down the middle, and Bonds crushes it. Now we have two of the best defensive outfielders in the league, Torii Hunter and Ichiro Suzuki, tracking the home run ball. Too bad Bonds didn't hit the ball to Manny Ramirez in left field because Torii Hunter robbed this certain home run from Bonds. How does Bonds respond? He picks up Torii Hunter and hits a 2-run home run a couple of innings later, and he made sure to hit the ball a little further. So we got a 4-0 game. But let's go back to the catch. Why does the Torii Hunter catch matter? Well, fast forward to the bottom of the 11th inning, and Commissioner Bud Selig doesn't look too happy. The All-Star Game had just ended in a 7-7 tie. If Hunter doesn't make that catch, there would have been an extra run on the board, so it wouldn't have ended as a tie. You see, in an All-Star Game, an exhibition game featuring the game's best players, there are some main objectives. Provide an exciting product, make sure every player gets to play, and no one can get hurt. Well, because every pitcher had been used at some point in the game wasn't able to continue. To be fair, Freddie Garcia and Vicente Padilla had pitched the last 2 innings and could realistically keep pitching until a winner is crowned, but that would likely violate one of the objectives. In that situation, either pitcher could easily get hurt, so the game ended as a tie. Bud Selig considered the result as an embarrassment. What was the solution? To have the game mean something. Selig said himself that he didn't want the game to be a meaningless exhibition game. Now the home field advantage for the World Series would be given to the winner of the All-Star Game. This rule passed unanimously on a test basis for 2003 and 2004, but it ended up lasting until 2016. In MLB's words, this time, it counts. However, how much does home field advantage really matter? Historically, home team winning percentages have consistently hovered around 54%. and unlike the NBA and NFL, this percentage doesn't rise in the postseason, meaning this rule change was essentially redundant. The rule change didn't really affect most of the World Series matchups between 2003 and 2016. Between these years, in only 2 cases did a team win a World Series at home and their corresponding league won the All-Star Game. That was in 2009 and 2011. In 2009, the home field advantage didn't really play into the Yankees' favor in any conclusive way. But then you have 2011, the Cardinals versus the Rangers. Game 6. David Freese is up to the plate, down to his final strike. He hits a game-tying triple, and Cardinals fans are as loud as ever. Then 2 innings later, Freese hits a walk-off home run. The National League won the 2011 All-Star Game, and this gave the Cardinals home field advantage, which allowed these moments to happen. But now, I want to take a different route. I'm going to show how the rule actually came at a disadvantage for the home team. First, we need to head to Target Field on July 14th, 2014. The only at-bat that really matters in this game is the first one, Adam Wainwright versus Derek Jeter. 2014 was Jeter's retirement tour, and this was his final All-Star game. And it could be debated whether his stats were All-Star worthy, compared to Wainwright, who was clearly a Cy Young contender, but what really matters is what happens in the at-bat. After a pitch in the dirt, Wainwright throws a fastball right down the middle, and Jeter hits a double. The American League team capitalizes on this by scoring 3 runs in the inning and winning the game 5-3. So, the representative for the American League in the World Series now has home field advantage. This is something we will get to later, but I want to go back to this at-bat. This pitch that Wainwright threw, was it deliberate? Was he giving Jeter a chance to hit the ball? Well, this actually isn't some conspiracy. After he was taken out of the game, Wainwright said that he was going to give Jeter a couple of pipe shots, saying how Jeter deserved it, and if he had known Jeter was going to hit a double, he would have changed his mind. Later, in the bottom of the 8th inning, after the storm on Twitter, Wainwright clarified his comments by saying this.
Comments you made to the reporters after you pitched, what was that all about?
You know what, sometimes my humor gets taken the wrong way. I feel terrible about this. If anyone's taking any credit away from what Derek Jeter has done today or off me or anything, I mean, it was missaid. I made a mistake about that. I hope people realize I'm not intentionally giving up hits out there. I know this game means something, and I think I said yesterday I did not want Derek Jeter to get a hit. I think I said it today even before I pitched. So.
Now, there is no footage of the original comments, so there is no definitive way to know if he was joking or not. Nonetheless, he at least gave off the impression that he had purposely thrown Jeter pitches that he could hit. So this takes us to the 2014 World Series. Game 7. The San Francisco Giants are facing the Kansas City Royals at Kauffman Stadium. Take a look at the starting lineups. Notice something? There is a DH. The Royals have home field advantage and have dealt with having a DH throughout the whole season, while the Giants have only needed a DH during this series. The DH for the Giants would be Michael Morse. During the regular season, he was a solid power hitter, but a terrible defender, so a DH role would definitely suit him well. In Game 7, he brought in 2 RBIs, including the winning run in the 4th inning. How did no one score any more runs for the rest of the game? Enter Madison Bumgarner. Bumgarner had already pitched 2 gems against the Royals, including a complete game shutout in Game 5 a few days earlier. So, on limited rest, Bumgarner was tasked to get as many outs as possible. You see, if the Giants had home field advantage, there would be no DH, and Bumgarner would have to hit. While Bumgarner is actually a pretty decent hitter, I'd rather take my chances with Michael Morse. So, because the Giants don't have to worry about their best pitcher hitting, they can just let him loose. Bumgarner would go on to pitch the final 5 innings, allowing only 2 hits. So, in a cruel twist of irony, the American League home field advantage for the Royals actually favored the Giants in the end. It's crazy to think how a catch in an exhibition game would influence the outcomes on 2 future World Series. Granted, you can make the argument that in 2014, the Giants wouldn't have received home field advantage regardless of the rule change as per previous rules. It would have been the American League's turn to have home field advantage. Although Hunter's catch ensured that the rule was created in the first place, which led to what happened in 2011 and what happened in 2014, with a bit of Adam Wainwright on the side. So if there is anything to take away from this video, it's a reminder that one little action can change everything, and this applies to all facets of life. So remember, if you decide to drive over to a restaurant to get some food, but you forget your phone at home and choose to go back and get it, you could be starting a chain of events that allows the Yankees to win the next 5 World Series. And I can assure you, no one wants that to happen. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and leave your butterfly effect scenario in the comments. It can be about any sport, even table tennis. And actually, I highly encourage you to leave a scenario about table tennis. Subscribe to Raving Sports and check out my channel, SportStorm. Thanks for watching.